A few weeks ago, I got a message that I honestly wasn't expecting. The developer of Schedule 1 reached out and asked if I'd be interested in doing an interview with him for the channel. And obviously, I said hell yes. So after a full year making content on the game, I finally got to sit down with the developer of Schedule 1. The man, the myth, the legend, Tyler himself. The guy who somehow juggled university, running a business, and building one of the most addictive indie games of the last few years. And we talked about everything, from future updates to the console port, undiscovered lore, and the long-term vision for the game. And yes, we even talked about the return of Uncle Nelson. Now, since this is an interview and it's mostly just audio, I've got footage of me playing Schedule 1 in the background to keep you guys entertained. And I also added chapters to this video, so you can easily jump to whatever topics you're most interested in. This is easily the deepest look behind the curtain that we've ever gotten, and I'm genuinely grateful that Tyler took time out of his insanely busy schedule to sit down with me and share all of this. Alright, let's get into it. Oh, I mean, we can just start off with the big change. You got the office, you got Rob now. How's that going?
Yes, we got the office. It's been going well. It's been going really well, actually. I think, yeah, since we've had the office, I haven't done a single day of work at home, which has been really nice. I've been working from home for years now, so it's really nice actually just having that separation between work and home. As much as remote work is convenient, I just like heading in, you know, it's only about a 20-minute drive in, so it's not too bad. And it's a nice space as well. We've got our ping pong table there, got a dartboard there, we've got a, you know, TV and stuff, so it's a nice space to be. And yeah, it's just cool working with somebody. You know, I've been a solo dev for so long now. It just feels more like a real job. No complaints.
As opposed to like a hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
This was a hobby for a long time, and I've been very lucky to now make a career out of it. So yeah, no, it's been going really well.
How is juggling? You know, I know you're in uni right now for engineering. How is juggling that and game dev, and then also like the business side of things, which I'm sure is a massive change?
Yeah, I'd say most of that stuff is, the business stuff has like settled down a bit more. It was a bit more intense last year, getting everything set up and all of that, all the paperwork and stuff. But I think everything's running pretty smoothly now. I don't have to spend too much time on that. I can just focus on the work really, which has been great. Yeah, with uni, I'm on a break right now. I'll be back about I think February 15th. I'll be underloading slightly, but it'll still be enough to keep me busy. I'll probably do 4 10-hour days at the office and then take that 5th day just for uni.
I mean, you're in your last year now, right?
I mean, I'm in my 4th year, maybe even 5th year now, I think. God. I'm still probably like 2 years off finishing though, just because I've been underloading
taking less
quite a
credits, to focus on Schedule 1. I mean, that makes sense.
Make time for the game. I mean, I guess I'm in no rush, you know. I want to take my time and make sure I'm actually understanding stuff, so I'll get there when I'll get there, but it will be nice to have that done eventually.
I mean, it's a marathon, you know. It's not a sprint. There's no need to
right.
There's no need to speed through it. I know that my YouTube channel, right? When I first started it, I just made goofy videos, and then eventually, you know, thanks to you, it's blown up. I had to kind of transition from being, oh, you know, this is like a side thing I do on the weekends where I like get together with a friend and we make videos, to like now it's a whole operation. You know, I have a script writer, I have 2 editors, I have someone that helps me with research, and it's very different than when I first started. So how has that changed? Because you've gone through a very similar change. How has that been, like transitioning from, oh, you know, I'm just coding in my bedroom when I have some free time, to now you're running like a full-on game studio? What's that transition kind of been like? And is it, you know, something that's you find difficult, or do you like it?
I think last year and this year have felt very different. Last year was super frantic. I mean, it was a good year, but it was stressful. Just like the game did pretty well out of nowhere, and I wasn't really expecting it.
You got to scramble, you got to get lawyers, everything.
Everything just goes very fast, and you know, I want to keep the updates coming out, and I tried my best to do that, but I think sometimes that came at the expense of having the time to refine stuff and test stuff. Like some of the updates I did last year, I was really doing my best. I was just trying to get them out too fast. Considering I was only one person at the time. And I think a couple of updates, they weren't as fleshed out as I wanted them to be. And I think I've just slowly realized, and I'm really trying to take action on it this year, is that there's really no rush. What really matters is being proud of the stuff we're putting out, and making sure that the game will eventually get to a good state. And I mean, I think it's in a good state already, but I just want to make sure when we finish work on this game, it's something that we're really proud of. You know, we can step back and say, we did pretty well there. We made our best effort. That's really what I'm shooting for.
So now that all the hectic stuff and you got an extra set of hands there, do you feel like you're kind of hitting your groove? You know, you're really
that's right. That's
in the flow state.
Groove. Yeah, we're definitely getting more into like a nice rhythm this year. Just finishing work at a more reasonable hour. You know, taking weekends mostly. Yeah, and it's been good. I can definitely feel that. Like, I think last year I was getting pretty close to burnt out just because I was like 24/7. I was like, I got to be working on this game. I got to be getting updates out, fixing stuff. Yeah, that just gets exhausting after a while. So I think
from people that were like closely following the game, it was kind of apparent that like you were rapidly, like you're trying to play catch up, you're juggling 30 different things, and that's too hard. It's too difficult for one person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was it wasn't ideal. I don't think I was doing my best work in that state. This year's been great though. It's just like, you know, working in the office, being a bit more reasonable about the hours and stuff, and especially timelines as well. Man, my like ability to set and then hit timelines is just like abysmal. It's
abysmal.
I'm very optimistic how long something will take. I'll think about it for 10 seconds and about a month, about 2 months, something like that. And then, you know, I get to month and a half or something, I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna take 3 or 4 months.
I mean, as a programmer, I get it. You know, you're right there at the finish line and then a bug pops up and then you fix it and then that causes 6 more bugs to pop up and you gotta crush those. You know what I mean? It's definitely hard to provide timelines, so I don't blame you for missing them.
So I'm gonna try to be a lot more careful this year with when I announce dates for stuff. I'm really gonna try to only provide an approximate date when I think we'll actually hit it. Yeah, I think that's just best to, you know, first of all, avoid disappointment when we miss deadlines, and also just make sure we have the time to test stuff and make sure
you're putting out a polished product.
A polished update, really.
Now that you have, you know, the official game studio, you know, you're like really legitimizing it with the studio, and you got another guy. Where do you see, you know, TVGS headed, say 5 years from now? What's the end goal for Schedule 1? What's the end goal for TVGS?
Starting with Schedule 1, obviously everything on the roadmap, that's going to be done. Sometime towards the end of next year, we'll be pretty close to doing like a 1.0 release. Again, I'm optimistic with my timelines. Maybe it'll be longer than that. Who knows? We'll see. I'm not really like setting that as like a strict, you know, what we've got to get it done then. If it takes a bit longer, that's fine. That's cool. So yeah, everything on the roadmap's going to be done. Modding support as well. That's I'm not going to stop working on the game until we've got some decent modding framework in there.
Cool deal.
Just because that really just makes the lifespan of a game infinite. Really,
people still play Skyrim
easily.
Yeah, and exactly. Skyrim's like 15 years old.
Yeah. So yeah, modding's a big thing we've got to get done before we 1.0 it. Obviously, try and get it on some other platforms as well. Yeah, we're gonna probably start with Steam Deck certification and Steam Machine as well. Hoping to have that done in the first half of the year at some point, and then to the ideally to PlayStation and Xbox
later
at some
on.
Point. Yeah, probably not both at the same time, just because I think if we did like a launch on both at the same time, we'd probably be spreading ourselves a little too thin. Each platform will have its own set of unique bugs, so I think for stability and just putting something out that's well done, we'll have to do one console and then another one.
Are you porting that yourself, or because I know there's like entire industries around helping people port their games to different consoles? I don't know if you've looked into that or if you're contracting it. Or...
I've had a little look into that. I think we probably will be able to do it in-house. Maybe we'll just realize that publishing for consoles is a nightmare and there's a ton of shit that needs to be fixed, and you know, it's just going to be a massive effort. And if that's the case, we'll probably bring on some contractors to help get it done. But I'm feeling pretty good about doing it in-house. And it would be good to have that knowledge as well for all future projects, you know. So next game, if we want to get it on the consoles, we've already gone through the process. We know what it's like. We know what to expect.
With Rob coming in, I mean, we've already seen the massive difference it's made. I mean, the latest patch you said was a small update, but it's the it's the biggest patch notes of any patch you've ever released.
Yeah,
it's like 5 pages.
Yeah, no, it's a big one. We started the year, we got in on a Monday, and I'm just like, let's just play through the game for a couple of days and just write down notes and bugs and little things we want to improve. So we just did that, and we just had a massive list by the end of it. So we've just spent the past few weeks going through that list and fixing a bunch of issues, making little small improvements, adding a few things here and there. Yeah, just a bit of a general cleanup, little things that like I think I've been wanting to do for a while, but I'm just now finally making some time for it.
I mean, if you ever need a compilation of bugs or anything like that, I can always ask the community and make a list myself. I'm more than happy to help if you ever need like an extra set of hands.
Thank you, appreciate it.
It's kind of crazy because the community, it's like a double-edged sword. They have really high expectations, but that's only because they absolutely love the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
If they didn't care about the game, they wouldn't care about anything. They wouldn't care if an update was late. They wouldn't care if what's the next new feature. I mean, one of the most common questions I get asked on videos is like, what's the next update going to be? When's the next update? And I think it just goes to show like the passion of the community. So I know you have a lot of people out there that are more than willing to help you out if you need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Schedule 1 isn't the only game with an insanely dedicated community. And that brings me to today's sponsor, War Thunder. War Thunder is the massive, free-to-play military combat game where you can jump into insanely detailed tanks, aircraft, and naval vehicles from World War II all the way up to modern combat. The scale is wild. Combined arms battles, realistic physics, huge maps, and hundreds of vehicles to grind and master. And now, War Thunder is officially available on mobile, so you can take the battlefield with you anywhere. But if you're playing on PC or consoles, there's a limited time bonus waiting for you, because new and returning players on PC and consoles that haven't played in the last 6 months can use my links below to receive a massive bonus pack. It includes multiple premium vehicles, the Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and a premium account for 7 days. It's only available for a limited time, so you gotta be quick. And again, big thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Whether you prefer playing on PC, console, or mobile, make sure you don't miss out on the limited time bonus pack by signing up using my links in the description or pinned comment below. Now let's get back to the interview.
Now we've got a great community, and everyone's just been so supportive. I know people said a lot of very nice things after I posted about getting the office and the studio expanding, and yeah, it's just very nice to see strangers like that, people I've never met, being so kind.
You got a lot of people rooting for you, man.
Yeah, no, it's very nice. It is. It's like, sometimes I'll go to like game industry events and stuff, and I'll meet people who like have heard of the game, and it's just like, damn, that's it's sometimes hard to believe.
It was kind of funny because I recently got a new job.
Yep.
And during the interview, they were like, what do you do in your free time? And I was like, oh, I make videos about this video game. And the guy was like, oh, I've seen your videos. And I'm like, what the hell?
That's crazy.
Like the game, Schedule 1 is known like all across the world. Like the game absolutely blew up. When you look back at the very beginning of like Schedule 1 and what you had in your head, what was the original vision for it? And how much of the game today still resembles that? Because I'm kind of curious about like, how much has the game changed from what you originally envisioned?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. It changed quite a lot. I think that's why it took about 3 years to make rather than like a year and a half, is that, I was kind of dumb and I didn't really do very much prototyping. I would sort of just think of something and then spend a bunch of time implementing it and then realize that I didn't really like it and throw months of work away. So the game evolved quite a bit, actually. In fact, I've got some like old screenshots and videos of the game in its early stages. I'll share my screen with you.
Hell yeah. Because I know you take your privacy pretty seriously.
I don't know. I'm not a super extroverted person. I don't really I don't really like the attention that much, to be honest. I've been enjoying the anonymity while I've got it.
Yeah, you did have to face reveal to take that award.
I did, yeah. I was so stressed that night. I was almost didn't go to it just because I'm like, again, the attention. I just like, yeah. But we were nominated. We were nominated for another category, and we didn't win that. And I was so relieved because I was just sweating bullets, like having to think about like getting up and giving a speech. So Repo won. I'm like, oh shit, thank God. And I started relaxing, and then was taking it easy, having a good night, and then all of a sudden I just hear the game's music playing, and I'm like, oh
shit.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, do I have to go up? And yeah, I did. So yeah, I was also jet lagged as hell. I was jet lagged, sleep deprived, sick. I was not in the bed.
We're not expecting to go up there.
State.
Yeah, we're not expecting to go up there. That's pretty funny. I know you started as a Roblox dev, right?
Yeah. I got started on Roblox when I was like 11 or 12 or something. Did a little bit of just like messing around on Roblox. That's probably where I got started, to be honest.
But you're an engineering student. Do you think having an education in programming would benefit you? Or did you enjoy being a self-starter and like learning it on your own?
I think I've enjoyed learning it on my own, to be honest. I think that I probably could have learned it a little faster if I'd done some actual training in it. No, I quite like just like learning stuff from, watching YouTube videos and reading stuff online and just sort of figuring it out. And I think I've gotten to the point now where eventually, like, I'm a pretty good programmer at this point. I wasn't for many, many years, but I think by this point I've made enough mistakes and learned from them where I think I'm probably comparable in skill to somebody who's actually, done proper training for it.
I mean, I've looked at the code. It looks great to me. I went to school for it, so.
I'm about to do a major refactor, so I'd say that the code's like 25% good, 50% whatever, and then 25% just like terrible, dude. Not good at all. February is I'm gonna be doing a big refactor. Gonna go clean up the worst parts of it, strip out any like old legacy code that just shouldn't be in there, and just tidy stuff up. Like when I was onboarding Rob and I had to explain some things to him, I was just like, oh wow, this is not good. I need to fix this. I guess just, when you're working on it by yourself, it all makes sense in your mind, so you're like, yeah, it's fine.
Exactly. Yep. But then showing it to someone else.
Yeah, and then you get just a slap in the face of like, this is
If someone else has to decipher what you had in your brain, it becomes a whole mess. No, I 100% understand that. So you're redoing a big refactor of the code base in February. You also said that, or teased that there's going to be a pretty big update in February, or end of February.
I think, look, to be honest, probably March. So the way we're doing it, I'm going through and I'm going to go do the refactor and Rob's on the new update. We'll be splitting it 50-50 like that.
Do you want to leak what that new update is?
It's something that's on like it's on the roadmap. I've probably talked about it before. I don't think it'll be a massive surprise, but I will leave it as a surprise for now.
Can you leak it to me?
I think people will like it.
Can you leak it to me?
Leak it to you?
Yeah, I'll cut it.
If you promise not to.
I won't tell a soul. Pinky promise. I won't tell a soul.
It's gonna be.
I know you said your favorite character is Kevin.
Kevin. Oh yeah.
Kevin Oakley. You said it was the first guy you made.
He's the first character I ever did. He was NPC number 1. Yeah, I guess that's why. He's just a goofy, innocent guy.
Who's your least favorite?
Least favorite? Well, I mean, I guess there's least favorites and when like ones that like really don't stand out in my mind at all. And then there's also like a least favorite. They do stand out and they're just annoying. They're not customers, but the 2 police in the prologue, they are probably my least favorites because there's been so many bugs where they don't show up and body search you when they should. Just like these two police, they'll stay in there. There's been so many times where I thought I fixed it and it keeps happening, so I change something else, but then it breaks something else again, and they'll stay inside the police station, or like one of them will walk out, or they'll stay over on the corner, or they'll start walking back to the police station before they've searched you, and then they'll like run back. And this is like a 6-month saga now, where these 2 guys are it's really not that pretty simple. They've just got to stand there and body search you, but for whatever reason, it's just been one of those things.
They're just buggy.
Keeps breaking. Yeah, so probably those 2, just because it's been so much of a pain in the ass.
Speaking of Serena Flats, do you think we'll ever be able to go back there? Is that a potential map expansion you've thought of? I know in Unity they're separate levels, so I don't know like the programming difficulties behind that.
There's no technical reason that the player couldn't go back. I think it's a pretty small map. It's really just the ranch and 1 street of buildings. Like there isn't a whole lot going on. I think there's like 12 NPCs in the whole thing. I mean, maybe we could go back, but it'd probably be more of like linear experience or like mission rather than just like free roam, just hang out there all the time. I think that'd be cool. I don't know. For sure, I'm gonna try and work Uncle Nelson back into the game somehow.
I mean, you got time, right? You said end of 2027. You got time. It's not a problem you got to solve now.
Exactly. We'll get to it when we get to it.
Man, I'll talk a little bit more about the lore while you're searching. There's a couple cool things. They're meaningless, but they've sparked a lot of discussion. Like there's a body outline by the tattoo shop. People have written. Oh, yeah. I've read like 2 different fanfics people have written about like who that body is, what happened. Why is there just a body outline outside the tattoo shop? I mean, you have the mystery of who the hell is Lenny. He's on all the products. Lenny's fertilizer, Lenny's soil, but I ain't in the damn game.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, I just like to sprinkle in little things like that. I don't want to give too much background around it. I think a little bit of mystery is good. Yeah.
Are there any, like, secret things that you've added that people haven't found yet?
I think by now, people have probably found most things. There are like a bunch of references to media and stuff, and, video games and TV shows, movies, and YouTube.
I did a whole video on them.
Yeah?
Like
no,
Kelly
honest,
Reynolds? That's a reference to It's Always Sunny, isn't it? That's the new NPC.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you just added them.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, actually, I started watching It's Always Sunny for the first time a few months ago. So I think that wasn't actually like a conscious thing, but I think just like subconsciously, I was searching for a last name, and I think just Reynolds came to mind.
There's Charlie Kelly, and there's D. Reynolds.
Yeah.
So it's Kelly Reynolds.
Oh, that was definitely not intentional, but yeah, I think that was definitely.
Bro, I saw you type in the one Discord that you've been watching It's Always Sunny, and then that NPC came out like 3 days later. I'm like, it's a reference.
Yeah. I swear that was not actually intentional. That was
That's
genuinely
so
like
funny.
I could have come up with a name. That was just a happy little accident.
Yeah, dude, like people analyze the NPC schedules to see like, having relations with who and like people love the lore stuff, like the little tiny stuff. Like George and Molly. The house that George lives in the code is called George and Molly's house. But Molly lives in the apartment. Yeah.
I definitely changed my mind a lot on stuff during development, so there's definitely times
You
where
switch everything up.
what NPCs do and how they relate to other NPCs, I've changed, but then I haven't like changed the name of the house. But we'll just say those things are intentional. It was just world building,
It's world building. It's little Easter eggs.
They weren't accidents or oversights. They're world building.
Yeah, it was all intentional. I had a question about Westville while you're still pulling up the files. I noticed that, and a lot of other people have noticed, that all the interiors of the Westville houses are done. When you first laid out Schedule 1, did you only intend Northtown and Westville and then kind of branched out? Or is there a reason those interiors are done?
Those interiors are done because those are the few buildings in the map where I've used a third-party asset rather than making it myself. And that's something that's probably going to change, actually, especially when, I'm not sure if I've announced it, but we've probably got an artist starting soon, probably in March.
That's cool.
And one of the things he's going to do is go through the game in any instances where we've used an off-the-shelf third-party asset, probably just going to replace with something we do ourselves, just so that everything's cohesive and fits together. I think the art style of those houses in Suburbia and Westville they're a little different in appearance to everything else, the stuff that we made. Yeah, so we are going to replace those, but yeah, they've just got interiors because they were third-party assets.
That makes sense. That explains the motel in the prologue. It says hard rock on it or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool that you're getting someone in to help with 3D assets. I know in an old interview you said you hate doing them.
I don't mind doing them. I'm just no good at it, man. I know the bare minimum of Blender. I haven't learned more. I've just stuck with that for years. So I just I can get it done, but just not very well, and I'm just slow, not very good at it. It'll be good to have an artist on who actually knows what they're doing.
You said that's probably one of your biggest limits is 3D artwork. Which, I mean, it's always good to outsource if you're not good at stuff. I'm ass at editing. I can't edit a video to save my life. That's why I pay someone to do it. Do you feel like you have any other, stuff that you prefer outsourcing? You think someone else could do it better? Any other limitations?
There are a lot of things I do that other people could definitely do better. I think the biggest things are 3D art and technical art as well. I'm not that great at shaders and that sort of stuff. I'm a lot better than I was a couple of years ago, but still not great. Doing stuff on the GPU as well, Rob, who's joined recently, he's a very, very good developer. He's got a lot of experience, and he knows how to do compute shaders and other stuff like that on the GPU. And he was just running through some of my code, and he's just did you do this on the CPU for a reason rather than the GPU? And I'm just that's the only way I know how to do it, man. I have no idea how to do that sort of stuff.
GPU I'm sure that would help a lot with optimization as well.
Yeah, it would. I'm learning though. We're getting a lot better, and I think with the sort of the skill set of the team expanding, we're going to be able to make a lot more optimizations and get the game running a lot better. But yeah, other skill gaps, I think audio as well. Obviously, I didn't do the music for the game, my buddy did that. But like sound effects and stuff, it would be great to have, a dedicated like sound person. That might be like something for the next project. I'm not sure if it's sort of justified here.
A lot of the sounds are stock, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of them. Because I have no idea how to go record audio and edit stuff. I'm just hopeless with that.
Well, I know the NPC sounds. Those aren't stock.
No, we record those. We did record those. Now we all just came over to my house. Would have been January of 25, and we just set up a sound booth in my closet. It was about I don't know a meter by half a meter, tiny closet, pitch black in there. The audio quality is still not great. It's kind of echoey and stuff. But no, we just had a bunch of drinks and just screamed and mumbled into a microphone for a couple of hours. Just me and my friends.
I mean, y'all made gold.
That's what the voice. Yeah,
you made gold. Those NPC sounds are so funny. Like when someone gets knocked down and they're like, it cracks me up every time.
I did the crackhead voice preset, so the one that's used for like, Jesse and Keith and all of them. I did that one, and I think I did another one. I forgot what it was though.
That's so funny that you just made it and did it in your closet.
Yeah, it was good fun. We'll probably do another round of voices at some point. It'd be good to have some more variety to it, and maybe we'll actually do it with a proper sound setup this time.
Hey, I'm available. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I'm available.
If you're ever in Sydney, you gotta come over to the,
okay, well, I don't know
the
about
office
that.
and do some voices.
I might fly out. I've always wanted to visit Australia, but it's the long plane ride, dude.
Yeah, traveling for Australians is just kind of crap. You go to like 10-hour flight just to leave the country.
Yeah,
it's like Europeans and Americans are so lucky. You can fly or just like drive and you're in a different state. When I went to America last year, that was the first time I ever went, and just like the variety and the natural environment there is just crazy. We're driving from San Francisco out to Yosemite. We drive through like massive plains and stuff, and then an hour later you're just outside of Yosemite and it's massive mountains, and the
geography is insane. There's just so many different places you can travel within like the US.
Yeah. In Australia, you can drive 8 hours in one direction and it's like
it's all the same.
Whole way.
Oh, Lord.
We have nice beaches and we do have natural beauty, but it's not as varied as America and Europe.
I mean, that makes sense.
All right, I've got some old images here. So this was like the first like testing map. Is that coming through for you?
Yeah, I can see it.
So this was like the first map I made for testing. These were all just like that warehouse is a pre-made asset, and these are just like cubes. This is just something I used for testing stuff. I think that was the dealership over there. That was, I think, where you'd buy properties. This was like a hardware store. You'll notice a forklift there. For a long time, there was like a forklift mechanic in the game.
I noticed that.
Items used to work really differently, where there weren't really item slots. You'd like physically place items down on storage racks and stuff, and it was cool. It gave the game a sense of physicality kind of way, but it got a little tedious when you were dealing with, you had to place like 10 items down on a storage rack and have to manually place them, and I ended up scrapping it to go with like the item slot setup. Yeah, it was cool. We'll see more of that in some other videos actually.
Was Sunflower the code name for the project?
That was just the code name before I knew what to call it. Those are also, I went through so many revisions when I was making the map. Originally the game was set in a desert. I think I just probably got that from Breaking Bad. I was thinking a desert for a while, and then I thought like a desert's it's a lot of emptiness and a lot of nothingness. It might be cool to have a bit more stuff going on. So then I decided to go for sort of that Pacific Northwest kind of look with the the trees and all of that and the greenery.
And you finally got to visit the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, it was really pretty. So green there. This was the second revision of the map. This was like, it was like a peninsula sort of thing. I spent quite a bit of time on this and just scrapped the whole thing eventually. Yeah, that was going to be like Amazon,
a warehouse.
Distribution warehouse.
Yeah, that's funny.
I spent quite a lot of time on this, but then I realized that it was kind of just like all of the buildings and everything concentrated in this corner down here. So it's like if you had one of the properties would be like up here in this corner, and then to get into town you just have to drive all that way, and I just thought it'd be I think at this point I realized I wanted the map to be a little bit more like urban and just dense. So but I got pretty far on this one. Town hall.
That actually looks like the town hall in my town.
Does it really?
Yes.
It's based off of one in was based off a real building. I think it was in New York State somewhere. This is still in the actually no, this model is in the game.
Yeah, it's in the chemical plant.
Yeah, yep. There's a truck as
Flatbed
well.
truck.
I think that's also in the game's files. I'm sure people have seen that.
I have, yeah. I thought that was going to be in the driver's update. I thought you were going to use it there.
Yeah, maybe. It's the only thing is it's quite long. When it comes to like fitting it in loading docks, it's going to overhang quite a bit, which might be okay, but I'll have to look into it. And there's also the matter of items are like set out on the back here. It's just going to be like a giant flat plane of just items sitting there, which might
be a little
weird.
ugly.
Like,
yeah,
shelves might be a little better, or maybe something enclosed like a box truck. That'd probably be better for performance as well, because then I can hide all of the models when the door's closed.
It's cool that you've kept documentation of all this.
Yeah, so you can see some of this is like changed a little bit. Other bits are still pretty similar. Oh, this is what the workers used to look like.
Oh, good lord! What a jump scare!
These were my placeholder NPCs before I did a custom one. But this was just like a pre-made 3D model, and I just slapped that face
on him. He's in his boxers.
This was how dealers used to work. Yeah, so very different. They used to have like cars.
Is that the old weed icon as well?
Yeah. They used to have energy. I don't even know what that's about. I'm just remembering the stuff as I'm looking at it.
Lord.
It's changed so much.
Well, my first video, the one that like absolutely blew up, I showed that dealer menu, and I was like, maybe this is a future update. Maybe they'll have, I didn't know it was cut content.
The ATM's pretty much the exact same.
Yeah, ATM hasn't changed. Speaking of, do you plan on adding more laundering places?
Yeah. I actually remember the other day, I originally like set up the casino to be like a purchasable business. Yeah, there's like an office, like an empty space in there, which I intended to be where you go when you purchase it. Yeah, that'll probably be the next laundering business. I'll make the casino. I might try and also like add like a high roller table in that same update. You access it only when you buy the casino, or maybe some sort of buy-in.
Have a net worth or something. That's pretty cool. I know the sewer kind of lines up with the casino office.
Does it?
Yeah. I'll have to show you, but I'll send you a video of it. I sent it in the Discord. I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, no, definitely intentional.
Yep, as always intentional.
That's right.
Nothing is done by mistake.
This is how you used to place items like this, like directly on like the tiles.
I had like a grid.
Yeah, which was kind of cool. Again, it'd just get tedious if you had to put a bunch of stuff in a storage rack.
I'm sure it did not help with optimization.
No.
How has the NPC driving been, like from a programming perspective? Because I feel like that would be absolute hell.
Yeah, nightmare. It is just, it was probably one of the trickier things, and it still doesn't work that well. They still just drive like they're drunk, but I mean, it really was my best effort. I mean, just driving NPC, like driving AI is tough.
I can imagine.
So the way I do it at the moment is like, there's a big 3D nav mesh, and I just run like a standard A-star pathfinding calculation on that. And that gives me a path, but it's like a sharp path that, first of all, it doesn't follow roads at all. It's just like, how do I get from point A to point B on this graph?
Yeah.
And so it doesn't have any concept of roads. So then there's a separate like network of these like road nodes that like define where the roads go. So NPCs, if they're off-road, they will like try to path towards the nearest point on a road. And then they will follow the road nodes, and then they can deviate from the roads at the end to get to their destination if they have to. So there's like two different pathfinding things going on that kind of combines like that. And then once you've done that, path is still really sharp and like takes sharp turns that like cars just can't do. So I run like the pathfinding output through a smoothing function. I think it's like a Bezier line or something to smooth it out a little, and I do some post-processing as well. Exiting a road, they will like drive up to the end of the road and like turn around to the other side to come the other way and then drive off the road when they should have just like cut across the lane and just exited. So there's a bunch of post-processing and weird little quirks going on. And then like reversing as well, there's like,
good lord,
you gotta like trace out where the car's going with like a curved raycast, and then if it's obstructed, you slow down, and if it's still obstructed, you gotta reverse. No, it was just terrible, tricky, and it still doesn't work that well.
Well, even if it's buggy, stuff like that helps add to the lore of the game as well. Like there's like headcanons that Mick Lubin is an alcoholic and he's just drunk driving. Like that is like a commonly believed scenario, because his red truck always gets stuck somewhere.
Yeah, I know exactly where. It's yeah, that's right. Actually, it's not bad NPC Vehicle AI. It's everyone's just drunk all the time.
Yeah, it's world building. They're high on drugs. Exactly. We're selling them drugs. Was there ever like a point during developing this, because like you're showing the some of the older stuff, that you felt like I should just scrap this, I should just give up, throw in the towel?
Like the whole project?
Yeah, just scrap it all, start over, or move on to something different.
I think once I started, I'm like, I'm gonna get this done no matter what. I've just got to like see this through, get it done. I threw out so much work, it was probably like equivalent to like a full-size game. But no, I don't think I ever had the point where like, this isn't gonna work, I've got to do a totally different thing.
You gotta completely scrap it. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad you went through with it, obviously. It turned into something amazing.
Yeah, me too.
Your wallpaper is a hardwood floor?
Yep, I've had this for 12 years now, I think. I haven't changed it. It's like a comfort thing for me. Grown so used to it, as soon as I change it, I'm just like, something's off.
Something's off. It's not my computer.
Yeah. These were my first sketches for like what character faces would look like. This was just like...
It's starting to look more like Schedule 1 than the other guys.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see the body's a little different. I like remodeled it. It's kind of chunky and robust here. You can see a little bit, like the eyes are the same.
The the
eyebrows
eyes.
are similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this was how far I got into that second map.
Before you just scrapped it. Oh, there's the
before I
docks.
So I got decently far, and I'm just like, no, this isn't working. I got to change it. So the layout for this map, I spent so long drawing up different things, and I couldn't figure something out. And I think it was like one night, it was like midnight. I just looked at like a top view of Portland, Oregon, and I kind of used that rough shape of it, kind of like a peninsula sort of thing. In the space of a few hours, I just sketched out the shape of the land, and then I sketched out where the roads might be, and then I sketched out where all the buildings would be, and that's pretty much exactly what's in the game. It all came to be in a few hours. But this was following like months of like drawing stuff and not liking it. When it did come together, it came together pretty quick.
80% of the effort is in planning, and the 20% is the execution of it. 100%. That's so cool. I know you've teased 3.5, like 3 or 4 different potential map expansions. Which one are you most excited for, or which one do you think you're going to tackle first?
First one's going to be the southwest of Highlands Point, like south of the docks. That's going to be the first map update. It's going to be kind of like swampy, slummy kind of area. I think it'll be quite cool. It's I'm holding off until our new guy joins in March, just because he's a way better artist than I am, and he's going to probably be responsible for most of it. But no, I think that'll be really good. And next after that's going to be like northeast. So there's going to be a new fancy area of town, like
I do remember you saying that.
Yeah, up in like the mountains. And then maybe we'll do a third one at Highland Point, I'm not sure, but we are going to do the island, and I think the island is what I'm most excited for, because that's not going to be just like a map expansion. That's going to be like the mechanics of the game are going to change quite a bit when you get up there, rather than just like selling to individual customers. We're going to figure out a way to work in like bulk orders.
International exports.
By the time you reach that, you've been playing the game for a while, so I'm very much keen on switching things up a little bit. I don't want to do just more of the exact same up there. I think it's going to be nice and much needed to switch the gameplay up a little. Obviously not a massive, deviation, but just make it feel like you're doing stuff on more of a commercial, industrial scale, rather than just like
small time. Yeah, local drug dealer type thing. I guess that pulls me into another question: is how do you balance trying to keep the 3 different types of players happy? As the community has grown and the player base is split into very different play styles, how do you personally approach deciding what an update should focus on? Because I've said for a while now that there's 3 types of people that play Schedule 1. There's the people that want a GTA style game. There's the people that want a Factorio, I'm gonna min-max everything. And there's people that just want like a chill, cozy Stardew Valley style game.
This probably sounds selfish, but I think what I try to do is just keep me happy, I'm just like, what
That's
is
fair.
Like... Obviously, we do the community votes. In those votes, I only put in options that I think would work. Like, I'm not going to put an option in there that's like, I don't agree with that at all. That's not going to be the right thing for the game at this point. Yeah, in a strange way, I'm just like, in my mind, I've just got things about the game that I want to change this or add that or refine this, and those are the things I try and work towards. Obviously, I want to keep people happy, but if you try and please everybody, it's going to be very just safe. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's
Well, I remember you cut police from the second community vote. I figured that was because you didn't want 2 adversaries.
Yeah. I think that was that following the cartel update?
Yeah, that was right after the cartel.
Yeah, that's right. That would have been why I did it. Is that like two adversary updates right one after another would just be too much of the same.
And I'm sad. I'm sad drivers lost. Okay, I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
the voting system was the way we handle the votes. We used like a database
Hmm.
system. There's a way like you can like estimate the tallies without counting all of them individually. So I was relying on that during the voting process to see what was coming ahead.
Hmm.
And for a while there, drivers was winning like by quite a bit, and I was surprised because like no way, Shrooms are gonna. I thought Shrooms were gonna win for sure.
Push
So it
so
got to the
hard,
end of
dude.
the
I was campaigning like I was running for president.
Yeah, so it got towards the end of the vote, and as far as I was aware, drivers had won. But it turns out the database estimator thing was like way off and like skewing the ratios massively, and it turns out that Shrooms won by quite a bit.
You saying the election was
which-
rigged? The election was rigged. You can say it, Tyler.
Yeah, I was like, oh yes, nice. Drivers won. Drivers won. It's like that's gonna be easier to do than Shrooms. That's great. And then they actually like did a proper tally of it, and oh no, Shrooms won.
Damn it.
It was alright though. I think Shrooms turned out pretty good.
Oh, amazing update. I loved that
Yeah.
you added in equipment that also changed every other farm. And
Yeah,
then
yeah, I
in the
try and,
middle
like,
of me
work stuff into.
to like, yeah, it like spices up other areas of the game that, you know, had been pretty stagnant for a while. Adding in AC units meant that I had to redo all of the farms. You added storage closets, and I had to redo all the farms all over again. Because you also, you know, the AC units affect drying racks now, which is pretty cool. You know, it's
Yeah, I try to do that when I add new stuff. If I can, I want to try to like also integrate it with the existing stuff. Like we did that with the sewers as well. There's mushroom spawns in the sewers. Try to make everything a bit more like cohesive and kind of everything interacts with everything else.
Do you ever plan on like expanding the sewer?
Maybe when the map's expanded, the sewer might also expand with it. Before I make the sewer bigger, I want to add more stuff to it. At the moment, I think the sewer update was probably the biggest victim last year of me just like trying to get stuff out as quickly as I could, and also because that was a Halloween update, like the release date was fixed.
Yeah, you can't
and-
delay it.
Yeah, and that one didn't turn out as fleshed out as I wanted it to be. I think it was fine, but I had a lot more plans that we just couldn't get around to it. We will eventually.
What did you have to cut?
Yeah. I think there were like more unique rooms in the sewers. There was
Market room.
for a while
I
there.
saw that one.
Yeah, I wanted to have like a sewer merchant who you could buy like special mixing ingredients from.
Oh, that would have been cool.
And then so I had to cut that, and we'll still probably get it in at some point.
Well, you said you have February. Oh yeah, let's see this.
22. Oh yeah, this is early in
You're
development.
just driving around.
Oh, so yeah, things used to be really different where you would like place entire buildings down rather than just like, yeah, working out of pre-made buildings. You would like place down your own sheds and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. And you had to like hook up the power poles. I saw
Yeah, you had to hook
the
up the
power
power.
stations in the game files. And I thought it had something to do with the police update with like heat, property heat. You know, if you're pulling too much power.
Again, this is one of those things I spent so much time on it, and I was just like, nah, I'm gonna scrap it. The reason I scrapped this is it made the game feel a little less grounded. You're like placing down these massive like entire buildings, and I don't know, you just felt like more like a god, like just placing down all these
Yeah.
big building constructions and stuff, rather than just like a
A small time drug dealer.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why I cut it. Yeah, the suspension racks used to work a little different. They would like adjust dynamically. They've sort of merged together there.
Oh, that could help with like
Yeah.
the botanist pathing because they get stuck a lot.
Yeah, actually, those legs, they don't affect navigation pathing at all.
Botanist.
They did
Oh.
for a while, but again, yeah, it did mess with the pathfinding.
So that's
I
pretty.
think the reason I
nifty.
scrapped this was actually can't remember. I don't know why I scrapped that.
Well,
I think
hey,
maybe
it was
if you had,
intentional.
like a massive grid of them, it'd be like it's like 20 by 20 meter suspension rack setup, and it's supported by like 4 flimsy legs.
And it's
it looks
like
a little
not,
goofy.
yeah, not reasonable.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the old warehouse. He's T-posing.
Yeah.
He had a pimp coat. You used to be able to empty directly in the bin.
Yep.
And there's
This is how the employees used to work. Went through like 3 or 4 different revisions of the employee system. I think this was the first one, but it was just too. It's tough to find a balance between making them easy to like set up and just get to work, but also offering enough control. I think this first one was just too tedious to get them to just get to work.
I do sympathize with that. Finding a balance between ease of use and people that want a more advanced setup, as opposed to just setting it and letting it go. We currently
I'm
have that a
pretty
little
happy.
bit.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the current management system and the clipboard stuff. There's definitely room for improvement, especially with more complicated setups. I think.
We run into
Like,
those a
yeah,
lot
just-
with some of the more complex farms.
Yeah, I think like renaming, that was a big
That
effort
was
we
cool.
made to
That was very cool.
make it easier to figure out what's what, but there's still more work to be done there. But I think those are more just quality of life things rather than, you know, total rehauls of the system.
Like, I like how with the handlers, which route is first matters. It makes a difference because they do the first route until they can't, and then they do the second, third, fourth, fifth.
Yes, I was talking about that with Rob the other day. It'd be nice to give some control over like how they balance those routes, because often if you've got handlers to move something to a cauldron, they'll like stack up the first one. That one, like they'll start the cauldron, but then the be a bunch of stuff just sitting in the input when they could have moved it to the other cauldrons and started it there. So there's still a bit more work to be done. But again, all of those things I think can be accommodated by the current management system.
Oh yeah, I know like botanists with drying racks, they have such a hard time. They'll move the bud over and then they'll just go do something else instead of starting the drying.
Yeah, that is because of, at the moment, there's like a fixed priority for each task that they do. Like certain tasks are just higher priority. So even if it logically makes sense for them to do something because there's another task and it's higher priority, they'll just go and do that instead. Again, that's another thing I'd like to expose to the player where they can, if they want to, they can set the priority of each task type for botanists and just have a little more control over what they do and when, and you know, what takes priority over what.
It would make a big difference for the more complex farms that a lot of people are making. The Factorio players, if you will. I mean, I'll admit it, I'm like that.
I love Refactor. I got really into it a few years ago.
It's such a good
I
game.
think I wanted a little bit of that in Schedule 1.
I think you've hit a very good balance between the ability to min-max while also making the game enjoyable. I really like the art style. That's what initially drew me to the game.
Thank you.
Was
Thank you.
like it's like goofy. They don't have chins. No one in Schedule 1 has chins. I thought it was so funny.
It's great to hear because so much of the art style, it was driven by necessity because it was the only thing I could do rather than by like deliberate design. I try to make something and it would turn out looking a certain way and I'm just like, oh well, that's that. I guess that's how it's going to look. Yeah,
Ship it.
I think it turned out all right.
I think it turned out amazing.
Again, I think we'll refine it a little bit more and make it a little more cohesive. Again, replace all of those existing assets with like custom stuff so everything looks like it fits. And change the particles up a little bit. Little changes. We want to try and do some more work on the lighting. Get these shadows. At the moment, shadows for any light source except for the sun and moon are only enabled on ultra settings, and that makes a big visual difference having those extra shadows on. So it would be nice to have them enabled on lower quality tiers. We just need to do some optimization there.
Well, I'll tell you, I can finally play on Ultra. I finally am able to.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, after the big optimization one a few months ago, big optimization patch you put out, can finally play on Ultra. I was not able to before then.
That's good.
It looks amazing. It looks so good. I think
Ultra's nice. Just with those shadows, it does a lot.
I think the last category I really wanted to go over, I told my community, hey, I'm going to be doing an interview with Tyler. What do you guys want me to ask about? 90% of people wanted me to ask about updates, essentially. So I know you said you have the one coming out in February. In March, potentially late March, April, June, whenever, after that, map expansion. What do you, is that after that? Is that when you plan to do another community vote?
Yeah, we'll do another community vote after this next update, the surprise update. That's when we'll run the next vote. I think the options on that are going to be, drivers. I'm putting drivers back in because I just personally want to do the drivers. We're going to run that again. I think maybe I might put the police expansion in that one as well, since it's been a while since the cartel update. And maybe a map expansion. It depends on how the new guy's going. There's more, his attention might be split on some other stuff. Yeah. But if he has some free time, we might also run a map expansion as the third option.
Well, if that's in there, it's winning.
Yeah, that's why I'm hesitant. This isn't a guarantee. We might not, because I'm tempted to almost preemptively start work on the map expansion before running the vote, because as you said, it'll probably win.
It's gonna win.
And if it does win, it would be great to get it out as quickly as possible and not have to wait to do it well, probably a 3-month effort. So even if we can get a month-long head start on that, we'll see how it's going. It all depends on how the new guy's going and
what other things do you see in the future of this year, even if they're just one-off updates, things you can knock out real quick? I don't know if there's anything in particular you had been thinking about, I'd like to get this done this year. Yeah,
quite a bit. So around the same time as the third community vote, we're gonna try and get controller support done. It's all of the internal stuff is the systems are set up for it. It just has to be integrated with all of the screens and tested and refined and all of that. Controller support, and then with that, ideally also Steam Deck certification, Steam Machine as well. At some point this year, we'll get another drug type in. I think next one will probably be MDMA.
Ooh.
No, I'm not sure what time of year, but I'm sure there'll be a new drug type in by end of year.
Do you think that's just going to be an update, or do you think that'll be another community vote?
Probably run that as a vote, I think. I've got a lot of things on my list here. I'm just trying to figure out like what's going to be. I would imagine that by end of year, we'll probably have at least one map expansion done. Probably the police expansion, drivers definitely.
I like that, definitely.
Definitely doing that. If it doesn't get voted on, then fuck it, I'm just doing it myself.
Hell yeah. That's what I want to hear.
Maybe like an employee expansion as well, add a bit more depth to the, first of all, like improvements to the management system. So it's a bit more, less mental load setting up big operations, but also stuff like employee skills and relationships and training. Maybe you can pay them extra to have them work a little bit faster, or maybe you've got to keep them happy, and if they get, like, if your relationship sours, they might start sabotaging you or, like, stealing product or something.
Ooh, I love that idea.
Maybe to combat that, hire, security guys or something. Just add a bit more depth to the employees. At the moment, they're pretty much just robots that just do what they have to do, which is fine. It's useful, but it'd be cool to have them a bit more depth
more
there.
Fleshed out. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's such a cool thing. That would be, like, way later in the year, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, probably later this year. I'm not sure, I've probably teased this before, but we'll probably be out on at least one of the consoles this year. Maybe both, I'm not sure. I don't want to make any promises, but that's looking likely, at least one.
I know a lot of people have been wanting a console one. Have you thought about, speaking of employees, have you thought about, switching up the cleaners?
So I heard a while ago that they were kind of useless and not often used. So I tried to combat that a little bit by upping their trash can from 3 to 6. Yeah, I think they could probably change up a little bit, whether it's like one cleaner will like clean the whole property, or I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Like, what do you hear? Like,
I ran a poll on YouTube, and it was 92% of people do not use cleaners, and I think the biggest downside is that they take up an employee slot, which, I mean, so my community is.
Do they just let the trash pile up, or do they clean it themselves? Or?
You either clear trash in the console, or you get a mod that auto clears the trash, which that's what I do.
So it's just the matter of they're taking up an extra precious
slot. Yeah, when the trash doesn't have any negative effect other than aesthetics. Well, I'm a drug dealer. I don't care about aesthetics. You know what I mean? Yeah. This place can look dirty.
That is actually something interesting I have thought about, is having a bit more of a gameplay impact with the trash system, where if you let stuff build up, maybe you'll attract pests and flies and stuff, and then if you've got plants or other organic stuff, maybe stuff on storage racks, eventually the pests could get to that. I think that could be interesting. I want to make sure it's not like a tedious and it's not like just a massive pain in the ass, but I think there is probably a good case for there being some sort of impact of letting trash pile up, other than just it being, messy and look gross.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest reason people don't use it, is because there's no downside to trash building up, and it takes up an employee slot, or multiple, depending on, like the warehouse, it would be like 2 to 3 cleaners that you could be using to increase your output, right? And if you're someone who likes to min-max, then it's like, well, why do we need this? We don't need cleaners. Nothing bad happens. Towards the future, right? Like when it comes out on console, they're not going to have a dev console. They can't type clear trash, and they can't. No, I mean,
they'll probably still have a console like accessible to them. They'll just have to type it out with like the the controller and the keyboard thing, which is always a bit crap. But yeah, I'm sure they'll
but
still
at least
have
it's
access
there.
To
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, Jenkem on the Trello. For real? Are you doing that?
Maybe it's I think that'd be fun. I like goofy stuff like that.
I think it's fun. Like an April Fool's update. I think
I'm not gonna announce it. It's just, I think eventually it's just gonna pop up. It's just gonna be there out of nowhere.
That was legit. That's so funny.
Keep your eyes peeled for that.
Oh,
and now
Lord.
I've got the sewer system as well, so it's perfect.
It does kind of fit in with that. Have you taken any inspiration from the community, mods or comments you've seen for future updates?
Yeah, certainly. I guess it's hard to sort of gauge the opinion of pretty large community, you know, I think it's like 500,000 people in the Discord.
Yes,
And
yes.
so the way that I sort of gauge like what's going on is King Toaster Bath will he'll give me like a weekly like report of, you know, what are people talking about, like what do they want to see, what's annoying them, any significant bugs, that sort of stuff. So that's very helpful. He can just like gather a lot of input and sort of just help boil it down to a wider opinion like that.
He's definitely got a good pulse on the community for sure.
He does, yeah. He's been great. I'm terrible at that sort of stuff. Again, I'm pretty like introverted, and I just don't talk to that many people online. And yeah, so it's really good having him doing that sort of stuff. It's been a lifesaver.
My final question. Also, I can always help if you ever have, you know, you want to get a community's opinion on something. I can always boot up a stream and ask.
I mean, if you've heard like if any bugs that are driving people nuts or any things that like people want to see change, just like write them in a message to me afterwards, and I'll keep those in mind.
I got you. We made a while back. We made a mega bug list. And I'll send it to you.
Oh yeah, I worked through that. Thank you for doing that. You got like right down into the code and stuff. That was good.
Yep. And I made another one not super long ago, but I'll send it to you. But it just a few bugs that were found around. It's not up to date, so I don't know if any were fixed with the last patch. They wouldn't.
I think
be
we
there,
got a lot in this most recent one. Actually, I'm just curious, how does like the stability of the game feel now as opposed to, you know, 6 months ago?
Oh, so much better. So much better. Oh my god, it's night and
good
day.
to hear.
I had so many performance issues before, but it's runs like silk now.
That's a relief. I mean, there's a lot more work to do. Now I've just lost so much sleep over like, oh shit, you know, stuff's broken, games are crashing, people are getting mad. That's why I think we took this patch we've done. I really just wanted to spend a lot of time playing the game and just, you know, sort of assure myself that nothing too like terrible is broken. It's good to hear it's in a better state now.
Oh yes, like night and day. I've had a lot less like there's still like one of the bugs in the list is when you hover over the text in the hotbar over a cute can, it's orange and everything else is white. That's not that big of a bug. You know what I mean?
That is intentional. Like there's code set up so that change the display color of text like that. I haven't really used it for anything else, so it doesn't seem deliberate, but I do remember I set
okay.
I don't know why I did that, to be honest. It's just one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, I'll color code the name labels, and then I never did.
Never got around to it.
Except for Cuke.
That's not that important. Oh, meth. Before you leave, we got any plans for Heavenly Meth?
Yeah, there's got to be a way to get all different qualities for all different drug types, which I'm as far as I'm aware, you can for all the others. I've got to figure out the way that, you know, the quality of meth is decided right now is based on the pseudo quality.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out to get Heavenly Meth. I want to add something more than just like extra high quality pseudo. I want to maybe there's like some sort of extra step to the lab oven to improve the quality. I'm not sure. I
think if you were to separate premium and heavenly by having to do this extra step and do standard and poor as the previous method, I think that would be really cool. Yeah. Anything to add more complexity.
Yeah.
What do you do to relax? Because I know you're busting your ass.
I've been a lot better this year with I've been watching a bunch of movies and playing games, which has been great. I didn't do that very much last year. Now I just finished 2018 God of War, which is great. Excellent game, by the way.
Great
you can check that out if you haven't played it. Playing through Tears of the Kingdom at the moment. I want to start a playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3 with
Have you never played it?
I've never played through it. I've missed so many big, really well received recent games. I just haven't gotten around to playing them. But yeah, I'm really
Baldur's
excited
Gate
for that.
3 was one of my favorites.
Yeah. No, I mean I'm trying to play a big game every month this year. I think it's good for my job as well.
It is. Oh,
100%.
Why
do I actually like video games? Why do I like making them? I finished my Witcher 3 playthrough in December. It took me I think it was about 3 years from start to finish. Because I would play it a lot and then I'd leave it for a couple of months and then come back to it. No, that was great.
What's your game you're most looking forward to playing this year then?
If you're counting unreleased, Grand Theft Auto 6. If you're talking about games that have already come out, I'm hyped for Baldur's Gate 3. I also want to do Expedition 33. I've heard very good things about that.
Yep.
Yes, I remember I was there that night at the Golden Joysticks. They were like nominated for
They
like,
won
9 categories or
everything.
something.
They won
I think
everything.
everyone. It's crazy. Good on them though. That's just, yeah, with a small team like that, it's nice to see. It's crazy what they were able to do. Very much looks like a game that's made by hundreds of people, but it's like 30 people from what I've heard.
Yeah, I think they had a
awesome.
small 30 person studio, which is crazy
Yeah.
to put out a game like that.
That's sick. Yeah. So keen for that.
I know you at
List.
the start of the year you were doing dev streams. Can I ask why you stopped?
Yeah, oh no, that's fine. I'm happy to answer that. I think that in the second half of the year, I was pretty stressed and exhausted, really like just in a kind of sour mood. So I think it just would have been no fun. They would have been joyless streams, to be honest.
Just
It
grinding.
would have just been me sitting there, dead silence for 30 minutes, me maybe like grumbling something. I don't know. But yeah, I think I was just like not in the headspace for it. But I might start doing them again. Actually, we
I know a
even
lot of
maybe
people
do
have been
some,
wanting them.
Yeah, could even maybe want to do one at the office with Rob.
That'd be
That'd
cool.
be good actually. Could talk to somebody rather than just like talking to myself the whole
Self.
time.
That's the hardest part about
Yeah.
streaming is talking for hours to no one.
Yeah,
You're just talking to
Yeah.
yourself,
yeah.
which sucks. My only question I wrote down was who is Lenny? That was my biggest question.
Lenny is the he's like on all the agricultural
Yeah.
products, right? That's
Is he a
him.
person or is it?
Is there like is there a graffiti of Lenny
Yes,
as
there's
well?
a Lenny graffiti. Yes.
You know, I'm just gonna leave that a mystery. I'm gonna leave that a mystery.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
dude with
I'm not gonna elaborate.
freckles and buck
He's-
teeth.
He's
That's
just the
Lenny.
dude where you he's the guy. Where you get
He's-
he's the guy.
Yeah, the digging into the lore is a lot of fun and like figuring out stuff like that. Looking ahead, what do you want players to ultimately remember Schedule 1 for when it's done?
I really love games where you're making something. You're building something or you're designing something. You know, obviously Factorio, I love that game. I remember when I played Fallout 4, I spent so much time. I know everyone didn't love it, but I just loved doing like the settlements. I just like building shit like that and just making something. I think I've tried to work a bit of that into Schedule 1 where you're like, it's not really about making the drugs, it's about making the factory that makes the drugs, you know? I don't really have any sort of, you know, life-changing vision for it, but I just hope people just have a fun time with their friends and ideally like in some way doing something productive. I don't know, I love games where you make something because you finish it and you feel like you've achieved something, you know? You feel like I didn't just burn 5 hours doing nothing. I actually like made an effort and used my brain and like tried to like figure out a problem. I hope I can eventually like deliver some sort of experience like that. But also just goofy fun. World can be a serious, intense place, and it's always good to just sort of switch
True.
off, take it easy, and
That's why I always say stay
Yeah.
silly. That's like my sign off.
basically, that's right.
That's my
Sorry, I
sign
got
off.
2 of those hats now.
Yes, you do. Hey, thank you, by the way.
Yes.
The Schedule 1 merch is doing gangbusters. I think I've already donated like $4,000 to charity. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah,
thank you,
they're doing
That's
crazy.
great to hear.
Don't have to thank me. You're the one who gave me the right, like, you know, the permission to
Yeah,
make
it's all
it.
good. I mean, I'm not making any merch. I'll probably get around to it at some point, maybe. But
All right. I mean, that's all the questions I had.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to ask me?
if you could have any update right now, like what would it be?
Map expansion. That's an easy one.
Expansion?
Yeah. I think I'd take
Yeah.
map
do you think that
expansion
would
over
be the case
drivers.
for a lot of people?
Yes. Oh, if map expansion is a vote, it's going to be 98% map expansion,
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
a doubt.
I have a feeling I would have liked to have done one already, but again, I'm just holding off until we have an actual artist who can
I think
do it
that's
well,
smart. Yeah.
rather than me just sort of doing what I do. As soon as we've got the manpower to do that, we will do that.
I think you're gonna. I mean, you got something special on your hands here. I mean, you've done an amazing job. I know it's been really rough between like having to get updates out with all the community pressure and then
Oh,
like
no,
all the
I can't complain.
backlash.
I can't complain too much. It's, you know, these are good problems to have. I've been extremely lucky. The response to the game, it's so far beyond anything I have expected. Yeah, I'm just very thankful every day that like things have gone the way they have, and I just get to work on this thing, and I get to work with a team now, which is crazy. Now, as much as last year had some drama here and there, but for the most part, it was a fantastic year. Yeah, couldn't be more thankful.
Well, here's to another great year.
Thank you. I
You're
think the updates this year, I think like they're just gonna feel a lot more solid, well-rounded, refined. I'm gonna make sure that we're not like introducing any new bugs with updates. Well, you know, maybe a few here and there, but like nothing. It's not like, you know, a few updates last year that came out and there's like a whole host of new bugs. and stuff.
Couldn't harvest
I'm gonna
weed.
try- Yeah, we're gonna try our best to make sure that does not happen this year. And
Okay.
yeah, the rate of updates may be slower. I'm not sure. It's like it may be slower because we're gonna take extra time to get it right, but also that might be compensated by the fact that we've got a team now. So
They're a lot bigger too.
I'm not sure, but
I mean,
however the timing is, they'll be solid. They'll be good. Actually, have you done much like modding of the game, like messed around with mods?
not making one.
Just like installing them.
Oh,
Yeah,
installing
like,
them, yes.
Using them.
Yeah, I made a whole
Good,
video
actually,
on how
'cause-
to.
So with this upcoming refactor, I'm trying to start designing the code base in a way that enables modding, like proper mod support, and starts, I'm gonna, introduce a proper modding API with like a no-break promise so that, mods won't break. Assuming they're using the API, they won't break between updates and that sort of stuff. So in your opinion, like what are the, what are some of your favorite mods? What are some of like the most popular mods?
Okay.
It'd be good to know so that as I'm setting up the modding framework, I can set it up to accommodate those. It'd also be good to know if there's a mod that like everyone loves and it's like universally agreed to be this should be part of the game. I mean, maybe it could also just become part of the game as well.
I have a mod list. These are all my mods, and I send this to everyone, and I'm like, if you're gonna mod, these are all the mods you should install. So like one of them is you can change the level of the flashlight. So like you make it brighter or darker.
Yeah, that's good actually.
One saves keybinds between like persistent keybinds in between saves. So like if I press F1, I always teleport to the bungalow, and I don't have to rebind every time. An experience bar, expanded healthcare, which essentially is just if you die in single player, it treats it like multiplayer, so you just respawn at the hospital.
Okay.
Automatically relaunder, because it gets really tedious late game, having to spend 5 minutes every day running around everything. I think these are probably the best quality of life mods, and this is what I send people when they're first starting to get into modding.
Yeah, that's really great to see actually. Awesome, thank you, man.
Yeah, no worries. All right, well, I'll see you, Tyler, and let me know if you need anything else from me.
Alrighty, you too.
Hey.
See ya.
And that's the interview. Huge thank you again to Tyler for taking the time to sit down and answer all of my crazy questions. I know how busy he is juggling everything behind the scenes, so the fact that he was willing to do this means a lot. If you enjoyed this kind of deeper behind the scenes content, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to do more stuff like this in the future, and also I'm curious, what surprised you the most, or what are you most excited about? I want to hear your thoughts. And if you made it this far, I genuinely appreciate you. I started this channel a year ago just messing around and making videos about a game that I really liked, and now we're sitting down with the developer himself, that's pretty insane. Don't forget to check out today's sponsor, War Thunder, available on PC, console, or mobile. Whether you're brand new or a returning player, make sure you don't miss out on the limited time bonus pack on PC or console by using my links in the description or pinned comment below. And as always, stay silly, y'all.